Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're turning our attention to the retail sector and specifically looking at Dollar Tree and their upcoming earnings report. This discussion is really all about cutting through the noise to understand what truly matters for this company right now. We'll explore the expectations, recent performance, key catalysts, and what you, as an investor, might anticipate. Before we jump in, just a quick reminder to subscribe, like, and comment. It really does help us out. And if you're feeling generous, maybe consider buying us a coffee. Plus, if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into, please leave a comment below after our discussion today. We do read those. Okay, let's unpack this. Dollar Tree is on the verge of releasing its second quarter 2025 earnings. Can you tell us when exactly this report is coming out and what the market is generally expecting?
Absolutely. Yeah. So Dollar Tree is scheduled to report before the market opens on Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. The earnings call will follow at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. As for expectations, the consensus estimate for Q2 2025 earnings per share, or EPS, is looking like it's around 36 cents from Zacks. We've seen another source projecting maybe 0.39 cents.
Okay, so a tight range there.
Yeah, pretty tight. And interestingly, there's no publicly available whisper number for this quarter that we could find. So we're primarily relying on that, 0.26 to 0.29 cent range.
No whisper number. That usually means something, right? Maybe uncertainty.
Could be. It suggests the market isn't really coalescing around a strong informal guess, maybe struggling a bit to price in all the changes like the Family Dollar sale.
Right. Right. And what about the company's own guidance? What have they told us to expect for the full year?
Well, what's fascinating here is that management actually reiterated its full-year net sales outlook. That's $18.5 billion to $19.1 billion. They did that back in the Q1 report. And they also reaffirmed an adjusted EPS outlook range of $5.15 to $5.65. Now, this guidance was updated. It reflects their year-to-date share repurchases, which is important. And it's also key to remember that the divestiture of Family Dollar is expected to close during this Q2 reporting period. So holding that guidance is, well, it's a statement.
Yeah, holding guidance steady while selling off a whole division. That definitely says something. So here's where it gets really interesting for me. How has Dollar Tree actually performed in previous quarters, particularly against what analysts were expecting? What's their track record like?
Yeah, historically, Dollar Tree has shown a pattern of either meeting or slightly exceeding expectations. Not usually huge beats, but consistent. For instance, in Q1 2025, they reported an EPS of $1.26. That beat the estimates of $1.21 by, about 4% to almost 6%.
Okay, small beats or meetings seems to be the trend then.
Generally, yes. Based on the data we have for recent quarters. However, and this is a big however, their post-earnings price reaction has historically been quite volatile.
Volatile how?
We often see significant gaps, both up and down right after the report. And sometimes those initial moves even reverse later.
So not a smooth ride post-earnings.
Definitely not. It suggests the market often struggles to digest the news and figure out the real trajectory pretty quickly. Expect turbulence, maybe.
Good to know. If we connect this to the bigger picture then, what were the key operational trends we saw in the last reported quarter, Q1? And what does that tell us about their core business health?
Right. This raises an important question about their, underlying momentum. In Q1 2025, Dollar Tree actually showed pretty robust comparable store sales growth. It was 5.4%.
5.4%. Okay, that's solid.
Yeah. And importantly, it was driven by positive trends in both customer traffic, that was up 2.5%, and the average ticket size, which increased by 2.8%.
So more people coming in and spending a bit more. That sounds healthy.
It does on the surface. But we also saw a year-over-year decline in EPS. Q1 2025 was $1.26 compared to $1.43 in the prior year same quarter.
Okay, so sales up, but profit down year over year.
Exactly. And that trend looks set to continue, maybe even worsen. Analysts are expecting a pretty significant 46% year-over-year decline in EPS for this upcoming Q2.
Wow, 46% decline. That's steep, even with the Family Dollar sale factored in.
Yeah, it's a big number and suggests the market sees some real challenges, maybe transition costs or margin pressures, beyond just losing Family Dollar's contribution.
Okay.
On a more positive note, though, the company has been active with share repurchases, over $500 million year to date. That often signals management confidence, right?
True. Buybacks usually do. So what does this all mean for the current quarter then? What significant news or events could be shaping Dollar Tree's results and outlook right now?
Well, the biggest news, without a doubt, during the quarter is that planned sale of Family Dollar. It's on track to close in Q2 2025, so right in this reporting period.
And that's seen as a positive catalyst, mostly.
Generally, yes. The thinking is it removes a drag on the business, uh, allows Dollar Tree to sharpen its focus on its core, the actual Dollar Tree stores. Plus, as we just mentioned, those continued share buybacks signal management's confidence and provide some support for the stock price.
Makes sense. And how do the broader economic winds, the macro environment, influence a discounter like Dollar Tree? Are things tough out there for their customers?
It's really a mixed bag, actually. What's fascinating here is that consumers, well, they remain highly price sensitive. We all see that, right? Amidst uncertain economic conditions.
Yeah, definitely.
And that situation can actually benefit discounters and dollar stores. People tend to trade down to more affordable options when money's tight.
So tough times for consumers can actually be a tailwind for them.
To some extent, yeah, they
Yeah.
can gain share. But while supply chain issues aren't as bad as, say, 2023, labor costs and input costs are still important watch points.
Yeah.
They can squeeze margins. And interest rates, even though they aren't really rising anymore, they're still elevated. And they tend to hit lower-income consumers harder. And that's a key demographic for Dollar Tree. It impacts their spending power.
So a real push and pull there. Benefit from trade down, but pressure from costs and maybe their core customer feeling squeezed.
Precisely. It's a complex picture.
So what are analysts saying about all these factors? Any recent upgrades or downgrades catching your eye?
We haven't seen any specific, widely reported upgrades or downgrades in the recent commentary we reviewed. But that consensus expectation for a significant 46% year-over-year EPS decline for Q2, well, that certainly shows analyst caution, doesn't it?
It really does. A 46% drop is hard to ignore.
Yeah. Now, the full-year adjusted EPS target does reflect some of these headwinds, but it also factors in the positive impact of the share repurchases. So it's a bit nuanced when you look further out.
Okay, let's look at the market itself. What kind of pre-earnings price action has Dollar Tree historically shown? Does the stock tend to run up or lag? And what about options? What are they telling us?
Historically, Dollar Tree has tended to underperform the broader market indices in the lead-up to reports that carry this kind of uncertainty.
Okay, so maybe some caution from investors ahead of the numbers.
Seems that way. Regarding options, while we don't have the specific call-put ratios or implied volatility for this quarter right now, we do know that for similar reports in prior quarters, the implied move priced in by options has ranged between plus or minus 6% to 9%.
Whoa, 6 to 9%. That's a big implied move for a retailer, isn't it?
It really is. It suggests the market often prices in a significant potential movement around earnings. Traders are expecting fireworks, one way or the other.
Okay, so high expectations for a big move. With all these factors in play then, what would a bullish outcome look like for this report? What should we be hoping to see if we're optimistic?
Right. This raises the key question of what to watch for. For a bullish case, ideally, you'd want to see strong, comparable store sales growth, maybe 5% or even more. That shows the core brand is really humming. And you'd need clear improvement in both traffic and ticket size to back that up, not just one carrying the load.
Got it. What else?
Upbeat commentary on margins after the Family Dollar sale. Any signs of expansion there or good cost control would be very positive, maybe even an upward revision to guidance, or just sticking firmly to the high end of the current full-year ranges. That would be great.
And more buybacks.
Yeah, accelerated share buybacks would definitely add fuel to a bullish fire. Shows even more conviction from management.
Okay, that's the bull case. Now, paint the picture for the bearish outcome. What would that look like?
Conversely, a bearish case.
Yeah.
Well, first off, missing the consensus EPS or revenue estimates. Falling below that $1.36 to $1.39 EPS range would be an immediate negative.
Sure. A miss is always bad.
Right. Then declining or weak guidance for Q3 or the rest of the year, that signals trouble ahead. Margin compression is another big one. If they're discounting heavily or costs are rising faster than expected, that hurts. Poor visibility on the Family Dollar divestiture could also spook investors. Any signs it's messy or more costly than expected. And probably the biggest red flag would be disappointing traffic or, worse, negative same-store sales. That points to fundamental weakness.
Okay, those are very clear signs for both sides. So if you had to pick just one metric, the absolute number one thing you'll be watching most closely in this report, what is it?
For me, the key metric to watch will definitely be same-store sales, the comps.
Comps. Why that one specifically?
On any commentary on margins post-divestiture. Those two together, comps and margins, will give us the clearest picture of Dollar Tree's core operational health and momentum as they navigate this big change.
You mean, makes sense. Focus on the core business performance. So taking everything into account, the history, the market signals, the sale, the economy, what's our overall leaning for Dollar Tree's upcoming report? Neutral, bullish, bearish. And how confident are we really?
Look, our overall leaning, based on everything we've discussed, is probably neutral to cautiously bearish.
Cautiously bearish, okay.
Why? Well, the analyst downward revisions, that big expected year-over-year EPS drop for Q2, uh, combined with just general caution around the consumer sector right now,
Mm,
it suggests expectations are somewhat lowered. However, you have to balance that. The current valuation isn't demanding, and there is potential for positive clarity once the Family Dollar deal is done. If they execute well, that could provide support.
so potential downside risk, but maybe some upside if they clear the hurdles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why our confidence score for this assessment is honestly pretty low, maybe a 4 out of 10.
A 4 out of 10, yeah. That definitely signals a lot of uncertainty. What's the main reason for that low confidence? Why so hesitant?
The rationale is simply that there's substantial execution risk here. It's significant
Execution risk
from
from...
both the macro headwinds, we talked about the price-sensitive consumer, the cost pressures, and just the sheer complexity of divesting Family Dollar smoothly. It's a big operational shift. So while management reiterating full-year guidance is, supportive, analysts are still bracing for that big Q2 EPS decline year over year. And like we said, the options market is clearly pricing in a big swing, lots of uncertainty. It's just a very unpredictable setup.
Okay, that makes sense. So for listeners who are trying to figure out what to do, maybe considering their own actions around Dollar Tree's earnings, what are some strategic takeaways? How should they think about approaching this?
Yeah, good question. For risk-averse listeners, given the volatility and uncertainty, it might be prudent to simply avoid holding the stock through the earnings announcement. Sit it out.
Or if they do hold?
Well, if you do hold, maybe consider using defined risk strategies, buying some out-of-the-money puts for protection, for example. Limit your potential downside.
Okay. What about those who are more risk tolerant?
For those who are risk-tolerant, maybe you look at earnings-neutral strategies, things like straddles or strangles. The goal there isn't to bet on direction, but to potentially profit from that increased implied volatility and the large price move itself, whichever way it goes.
Right. Playing the volatility, not the direction.
Exactly. And finally, for long-term investors, perhaps the best approach is patience. It might be wise to wait for the dust to settle post-earnings. Get clarity on future guidance, understand the real impact of the Family Dollar sale before committing new capital.
Wait and see. Makes sense in a complex situation. So there you have it. A comprehensive look at what to expect from Dollar Tree's upcoming earnings report. We've tried to cover the analyst expectations, the company's past performance, the macro environment shaping its business, and some strategic considerations for you as an investor. As Dollar Tree navigates this tricky consumer landscape while shedding Family Dollar, it really leaves us wondering, will their core brand strength truly shine through once the divestiture is complete? Or will the economic headwinds prove too strong, even for the most value-conscious shoppers they cater to? It's a key question. Thank you for joining us on Investing Talk podcast. We hope this analysis helps you stay well informed.